To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
The wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Wildest Pod in the Wilderness, a podcast that still won't be as long as the wait for Tron. I'm your host, Tori, and I'm joined today with my co-host, Matthew. Hi, Matthew. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So today we're just going to kind of be talking about ourselves, our experiences with Disney, and then we're going to kind of end it with... What are we ending it with again?
We're going to choose our top 3 rides from each park, discuss, why they're our top 3, and kind of, dog the other ones. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we should dog the other ones. They're all great in their own way.
It's funny you say that because you're wrong. And don't worry, I'm going to tell you exactly why.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that. So.
Yeah, it's Tori. Mm-hmm. This is fun. This could be a good podcast.
I think it will be too. I'm excited.
We
talk about Disney enough, so why wouldn't we make a podcast about it and get other people's input?
We do. And I mean, it just kind of popped into our heads to just kind of start doing this, didn't it? Like in between sets at the gym this morning.
It did. What were we were listening to a Disney podcast.
We were, and we were like, we know this.
Yeah, it's like, why couldn't we do this? We talk about it on our own free time.
We do. And then we always plan, you plan, I guess, these hypothetical Disney trips that we always want to do, but...
Oh, yeah, Google Sheets is my best friend.
Yeah. And then we get to that price point, and then it's... You know what? What if we talk about it? The magic will come to us. We don't have to go to it.
Listen, that's when the idea of, like, when I was a cast member always comes back in my head, because I'm like, man, I got into the parks for free. Mm-hmm. That made it so much more affordable. It was crazy.
And the next thing we got to do is just start building roller coasters in our backyard.
Yeah, that's a really
Here's
Walter
a cool
Disney idea of you.
What if we created a whole land full
in our
of
backyard?
amusement parks?
In our backyard.
Like amusement rides.
In our backyard.
Yeah, well, we'll buy land. What if we bought
Phineas
swampland?
and Ferb, hon. We're not Phineas and Ferb.
I was just trying to steal Disneyland's idea. We'll call it Sweeney Land. That rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Sweeney Land?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Big statues of me.
Let's hone it back a little.
We'll get a plaque that says, it's one of my quotes. And we'll be like, I'm so extraordinarily humble.
You know what? Yes, that would be the only sign in our park.
That's funny. Yeah, you want to talk? So I kind of wanted this just to kind of be like an introductory kind of podcast episode.
Yeah.
Kind of like introduce ourselves, kind of like... What are these two idiots talking about Disney? I bet we could do that. Well, guess what? You could.
Yeah.
That's how we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a computer. I had a microphone. And we just hooked it up and started recording one day. So you could do this too. But why are we... What do we know about Disney? So how are we somewhat qualified to talk about this wonderful place?
I mean, I feel like anybody could be qualified to talk about this wonderful place, the most magical place on Earth. Keep in mind.
Did you just make that up?
No, that's like the...
I know.
Okay. Oh, God. No, but anybody is, I feel like, qualified enough if you're passionate about it and you love it and you keep up with the news, you just... Even if it's going to the parks in which you love, you can do something with that. But for me personally, I mean, I feel like Disney's like in my roots. Like my mom, my parents, my grandparents, all of aunts, uncles. At some point or another, I feel like they've either worked for the Disney company or were visiting their parks.
I mean, you and your grandfather worked for the Disney company.
That's true. He worked at the Disney store, R.I.P. the Disney stores. I miss
malls.
those
Yeah.
with the red like tiles at the very front that like made it feel like you were walking into another world. Like, how smart is that?
I think the closest one to us, without giving away our exact location, would be... Does King of Prussia Mall have one?
I don't think so. I know it wasn't ever... I don't think King of Prussia ever did.
No?
I think it was Springfield, but then Springfield closed.
Well, I know there's one in New York in Times Square, obviously.
Well, yeah, but
Which
I think that's the
we got to go
closest.
to a few months ago,
Yeah, that was
which was
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he worked at the Disney store, and then once I was in college, applied to be a Disney College program cast member, which was really cool. And especially since it was during the 50th anniversary, I loved that. Yeah, R.I.P. Dino Land.
Dino Land, yeah.
My role.
You
Restaurantosaurus.
see, like in dinosaur fashion, it got hit with a meteor. And now there's a big crater there.
I know, and it's gonna be extinct.
And it still looks better than a parking lot.
Stop! You always hated that parking lot.
I hate
I
it.
love that parking lot.
I don't. It is not up to the standard of Disney, in my opinion.
It's just a wrong opinion.
That's a right opinion. It's an opinion held by the company.
But they had dinosaur.
They did have dinosaur, but dinosaur will live on.
Right, left. We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it.
We made it.
Yeah.
I know. I Disney.
Yes. No. Gosh, I love the parks. I just want to go back.
We can soon. We can
Yes.
someday.
But
We do. We have gone quite a bit if you do the math. In the a little over 2 years we've been dating,
yeah.
we have gone to Disney parks 3 times, which
I
is
feel like
pretty
the
insane.
the Royal Caribbean cruise one, the day that we went does count, but
It does
Okay.
count, but it was only a day,
yeah. But we went to Disney World in August of 23, correct?
August of 23.
I'm so bad with
yeah.
time.
August of 23. It's now April 2025.
Yes. And
As
then,
of the time of recording.
and then of was it December or was it
December
November?
2023.
Yeah, we went to Disneyland Paris, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
so
a real good
different.
time.
It was so different.
Very, very different.
That could be an episode in and of
It
itself.
can be.
We'll discuss
Imagine
that
if
later.
Disney World didn't have humidity.
Or like people who like laughed or enjoyed their time there.
Yeah, but that's Europeans.
I guess. No hate on the Europeans listening. No hate.
No, of course not. But why do you allow smoking in your park?
Calm down now.
I don't get it. I get it, it's part of the culture. But also,
That's exactly why it's allowed, because it's part of the culture.
but
But what?
sometimes cultures are lame.
Matthew! You cannot say that.
I could say that.
No, you can't.
Smoking is not
Matthew.
All right. But that's funny.
No, it's not.
That's funny. All right, I'll chop this one out. This little part, I'll chop it out.
Well, good, because that's inappropriate, and we can't be talking about cultures like that and saying other cultures are lame. We shouldn't even be talking about how Europe's lame for letting smoking in the park, because that is wrong for us to say.
I don't think so, but okay. That's fine.
We can't come out the gates controversial.
Yes, we can.
No,
we can
we
set a
can't.
standard. It'll make us viral.
I feel like we just need to start over again, because I don't even know where we left off.
That's fine. I'll listen to it over again. We'll just jump right into. So you were a cast member at Dinoland. What did you do?
You sound so uninterested.
Why?
Could you
No,
just
I'm
say-
interested.
So you were a cast member in Dinoland.
I know. I'm probably going to cut out me asking this question. I just want to get you talking. So talk about you being a cast member at Dinoland. What did you do?
Well, when I worked at Dinoland as a cast member, I worked in Restaurantosaurus. I was all over the place. I worked in Dino Bites. I worked in I worked in the main restaurant. I worked in the kitchen. I worked at the cash register. Yeah, there was times where I would pick up in different locations. Another one that I picked up at was Pecos Bill in Magic Kingdom. Automatically loved that better because the uniform. Oh my goodness! Ooh, I'm gonna get a slap on the wrist. Costume. It's like PTSD.
You already have a letter in the mail from Mickey.
Yeah, he's like, you used the wrong terminology.
How many Mickeys exist at one point in time? One?
One.
But how can he be at all the parks every day and on the cruise?
How can you be at the parks one day and then on the cruise?
I can't.
Yeah, you can. He was. If you saw Mickey on the cruise and you saw him in the Magic Kingdom, he got there the same way you did.
What training video was this?
There was no training video. There's one Mickey Mouse.
There's one Mickey. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I believe you.
You should. You should.
So you worked at Pecos Bill?
Yes.
Pecos Bill. In your not a uniform.
In my costume.
In your costume.
Yes, it was a cute little skirt with a cute little top. I loved it.
And that's different. Like, how is that different from working in the khakis and the blue?
You mean as a paleontologist?
Yeah.
It wasn't. I mean, it was definitely more freeing. But it just... When I worked there, I didn't have to wear a hat or a kufi.
What's a kufi?
It's like a hairnet, but like cloth and like mesh combined. It just made me break out. Like I got like a line of pimples where that thing just sat on my forehead.
So you did... Do we say that you did the Disney College program yet?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I got to working as a cast member.
Did you lived at Flamingo Crossing? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's basically like the housing they provide, in air quotes, because you have to pay to live there.
I see all these things on Disney TikTok, whenever I'm on it. And it's all like, maybe probably because it's easier to complain, like complaining videos about their time at Disney College program. Was it that bad? Because obviously every place of work has its ups and downs, but did you have an overall positive experience?
I mean, yes, I had an overwhelming good time. Now there were like ups and downs. You're rooming with people who you've never met before a day in your life, and they don't tell you this, but there are people who are already living there. It's not that you're all coming in on the same day. There's people who have been there for weeks, months, like days already. So you're coming into an already like established living like agreement almost amongst 3 other people.
Is that how it was for you?
Yeah. I came in and it was Ashley, Ingrid, and I think her name was Kelsey, but she was gone within the first week I was there. But Ashley was there, I want to say a month before I got there. And Ingrid was there a long, like 6 months, I want to say. She was there for a couple months before me and Ashley. So she left while me and Ashley were still there. And then we got 2 new roommates to replace the one girl and Ingrid. So, oh my gosh, I love them to death. And the friendships you make there, oh, they last forever. You still talk to them, whether it doesn't have to be every day. I made so many friends. The only sad part is they're all over the country, so it's hard to like.
You just go home after you're done.
Yeah.
It's kind of like college, I guess, in that sense.
Yes.
I mean, it's the college program.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's a bunch of college kids working in Disney. The only really like it's long hours. And that's I feel like can be different, and especially since like working at Magic Kingdom, like they're open till how late? And all the listen, everyone jokes around. It's like you just are letting a bunch of college kids run the park once, once it's night. Like that's because that's when they schedule all the college kids, all the full time, part time. They don't want that. They don't want those hours, so they give it to us.
Now, I mean, so you had finished up your program while we were dating, right? And then
in January.
Yeah. And then we went almost a few months later to Disney.
Yeah.
How did you were you not like Disneyed out when we went, kinda? Or were you excited to just show me because I haven't been so long?
Everyone says that they ask. It's like a common question I get. It's, did working for Disney ruin the magic? And it's a completely different experience working for the company compared to going and visiting as a guest. When you're a cast member, you are making other people's vacations magical. You're giving them magical moments that they're going to go home and they're going to talk about. Like, even like working in Restaurantosaurus in a restaurant, you're like, how are you gonna, like, how do you feel like you're making their vacation more magical? And I was like, well, when you think about Disney, what are your favorite things? Yeah, the rides, yeah, the resorts. But 9 times out of 10, people will list food as one of their favorite things about Disney.
True.
And it was an honor to make food and give food to people, as well as we also have little cookies that you could get a whipped cream, put little Mickey ears on, and just like hand them out to people. And we also did Family of the Day at our location, which...
Oh, I don't know this.
There is 2 sections of Restaurantosaurus, or there was, breaks my heart. There was 2 sections. There was the when you first walked in, you could go to the left. There was a whole dining room open, and then if you were to go to the right, we had that section closed off because we would have the Family of the Day, and they would order their food. We would tell them they're the Family of the Day. They would get whatever they wanted, cookies, milkshakes.
For free?
Yes.
Huh.
And we would carry their tray to the hip joint. Get it? Because it's a bones paleontologist. Man, I'm a nerd. I feel like a nerd because you're just like, oh.
That's funny.
But no, it was the it was the hip joint. It was the cool spot to eat because you were in like a little camper, like van type thing.
Oh, that's what's
in that back room.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And so
I remember the camper van, but I was just like, it's part of the.
Yep. So
the
they got basically priority. They were brought there. They got to eat with the curtain closed, so no other people would be back there, which would be pretty cool. I don't know if that's changed, but at least when I was there, that's how they did it. I loved it. I loved the people I worked with. Mm-hmm. They were funny. I miss them. But
so overall, good experience.
Overall, yeah, I would definitely say that. Like, you're going to hear all these, like... But that's what happens with everything. You hear all the bad. But I got into the parks for free when I would go every day I was off. And granted, I did do other things in Disney. Like, not Disney, in Orlando. Mm-hmm. Like, I went to Universal, which was really cool.
Wow, you cheated on Disney?
I did.
How could you?
I did. I'm the worst. I know. But that was cool.
And now with Epic Universe, they're catching up. We're going to have to cheat on Disney with this podcast.
We are going to have to go check it out.
We're going to have to.
I know. It looks too cool not to check
it out. And I won't be able to ride any of the rides.
I know. Your poor noggin.
I get motion sick a lot.
I know.
And VR doesn't help at all.
No, Flight of Passage was horrible for you.
What I saw through my fingers, it was magical.
Yes. Well, yeah, like, and then, like we were saying, I brought you to Disney for, like, the first time as an adult. You definitely went when you were little. And, like...
Yeah, I had gone... I had to have been 13. Mm-hmm. I didn't care. I didn't know anything. And then, obviously, I got to be Disneyified by you
Yeah.
And then I started to learn everything. I would probably say that I know a pretty good amount now about everything, even though I haven't, say, like, experienced, like I've stayed in probably two of the hotels, and you've stayed in like 80% of the hotels or something like that. But I know what they're called and everything like
I
that.
know. See, you have all the factual knowledge. You just don't have the
The
experience under
experience.
your belt. But
Yeah.
we'll get you there.
Oh
We're
yeah,
trying. We're
I'm
getting
excited.
there. Yeah.
But I mean, going in 2023 to Walt Disney World was so much fun. And even though it was so hot,
That's what
it
happens
was,
when you go in August.
yeah.
It's like you're walking on the surface of
But
the
it was
sun.
so fun, I'd do it again.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so fun that I took you to Paris.
You did take me to Paris.
Yeah. And
That
I
was-
love that video, and I'll probably post that video up on the
The
on
old
the
Instagram account.
Yeah, the Instagram once we start it.
Yes. No. There's just so much to do. I don't know how you can do it all in a lifetime.
We're gonna talk about the differences between Paris and Walt Disney World
Yeah, but we don't
in
got time
another
for that right now.
pod.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Little sneak peek. Haunted Mansion is totally different over in Paris.
yes, and we can do pros and cons of both.
That's
and
gonna
then-
be a cool pod.
Yes, it sure will. But let's kind of get into rides. And we can kind of go off of your experience in August.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So when we went in August in 23?
23, and then technically we went in 2024, but it was on that cruise, and it doesn't really count because we were only there for a few hours anyway because of the high capacity. Because what was it, the 27th? No, that's when we left. The 30th.
Yeah.
We're good. Sorry, little technical difficulties there, but as we were saying, I'll definitely use my experience from the 2023 trip to be able to
It's
rank
funny
my
because
top
you have
three.
the My Disney Experience app open.
I
to
do have
be
the My
able
Disney
to
Experience
look
app
at
open.
the rides.
I mean, I gotta be able to. I mean, not all of us can be like Tori, who can, in her head, go park by park, land by land, from left to right, and say every single attraction, restaurant, and ride that is
What
in
can I say? I know
the
my
dang
stuff.
park.
I know my stuff.
All right. So, what do you want to do? You want to go top ride ever first, like say it right now, or you want to go bottom three and work our way up and reveal the top one?
So are we doing this just for Magic Kingdom? Or are
Yeah,
we doing,
yeah,
like,
we're gonna
just
go-
rank the rides in Magic
We're gonna go
Kingdom?
park by park. So Magic Kingdom, we'll do a tier list later, but top
isn't-
three,
Yeah, we'll do top 3, bottom 3? Or just top 3?
just top three.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was so lost on what we were doing for a hot second, but
No,
I'm
no,
back.
no, just top three. So
I
what comes in at three?
Comes in at a 3. Do you have one in your head?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, what's your number 3?
Wait, hold on. Is this rides or
Yeah.
attractions?
Well, we'll do rides and attractions. Shows count.
No, I don't want to do shows.
Well, would you
No,
consider?
just rides. Just rides.
Well, would
Because
you-
we'll do attractions in the tier list.
Well, would you consider attraction? Would you consider, not Hall of Presidents, Carousel of Progress an attraction?
It's an attraction.
Because I would say that's one of my favorite things.
It's an attraction.
Why can't we do
It's
both?
just a moving attraction.
Why can't we do both? If
Because
I'm going
it's
to
or a
Magic
show.
Kingdom,
It's a show.
let's put it this way: if I'm going to Magic Kingdom and I'm doing 3 things,
Mm-hmm.
ride or attraction, that's what we're naming. You
so
have
your 3 must-dos?
Yes.
Must do Disney?
rest in peace.
Must
My
do.
girl Stacy, I
Disney.
love her. She made my vacation every time.
Okay,
My
so what are
poor
your 3
sister-
must-dos?
You just cut me off. You didn't even give a crap.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Continue.
Nope.
I'm so sorry.
You should be.
But what are your 3 must-dos? Because this changes my thing.
This changes your thing.
Mm-hmm. No
Well-
restaurants, no food. Can't do food.
I wasn't gonna say food.
Okay, I know.
Rides.
I'm just saying.
All right, so coming in at 3, we probably should have made a list
I have
before
a
we
list.
started this.
I have lists.
I didn't make a list. I usually just come up with stuff on the fly. Because there's so much.
This
feel
is
like it would
personal
be-
to you.
Yes, this is definitely personal to me. This is not based off any criteria. This is just if I were to go, what I would one recommend to others, or I only had like a couple hours in the park, and this is what I'm doing. Number 3, I think, would have to be People Mover.
The People Mover.
Love the
Interesting.
People Mover. I hate when people sleep on the People Mover. It is, you get to sit down. It's so breezy, especially in the hot humidity of Florida. It's just like you get a breath of like air almost. And I like going through Space Mountain. I like when they're like calling Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow. That's hilarious. We're in Tomorrowland and we're calling Mr. Tom Morrow.
You're onto
Weird.
something.
I always am. It's just funny. And then I like all the minute references to old things.
Uh-huh.
Like, what was it? What does he say? Because it used to be an old song, I think, for the Carousel of Progress.
You go over Buzz.
Yes, you go over Buzz. You get to see everyone playing the games. I love it. It's me. I like calling it Wedgeway instead of Wedway, like Walter Elias Disney. Wed for anybody who doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's Wedgeway. I don't know why. That's just what my family has called it.
Like a wedge salad.
Yeah. Yes. I have no idea where Wedgeway came from. It just that's what we always said.
Well,
Yeah.
that's an interesting 3. And all right, it's an interesting 3. I think it's very underrated. You know, like people will
Mover?
poop on it. People poop on the People Mover. It's a People Mover pooper. For most people, People Mover pooper, as people say.
I
But
don't think anybody says that.
the people do. I took a poll.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what my 3 is.
Okay, what?
And it might be one of your 1s or 2s.
It probably is.
Haunted Mansion.
Oh.
But that's going to come in at the 3.
3 for you.
It's going to come in at the 3. Just because there's so much better stuff.
Well, I mean, since we're talking about it, your number 3 is definitely my number 1. Haunted Mansion
assumed.
is my top attraction. Must do every time.
Haunted
the time.
Mansion's a must-do for me. Right? The only
Yes.
reason we didn't do it last time is because the wait time was terrible.
Well, the last time was the cruise day. That doesn't count.
Yes. But, I mean, to me, the Haunted Mansion's a must-do, you know, but it's going to come in at the 3 because of how great other things are. Not because it's not great, just of how great other things are. And how kind of newer it is. But they added the Hatbox Ghost.
I am so excited to go see that. I refuse to watch anything where his little Hatbox body is there because I want to experience it myself.
Oh, like TikToks or
Yeah,
YouTubes?
TikToks, YouTube, anything. Instagram.
But, I mean, the only problem I have with the Haunted Mansion is that they need to change... Constance is her name?
Constance Hatchaway.
Yeah. They need to change her face.
They do.
It's a virtual. Everything that has the stupid virtual screen. If you had the technology to make
Yes,
the
but-
Navi River Journey person, the avatar,
Yes.
and everything you're doing in Tokyo Sea over there, I understand it's run by not fully Disney and they have a
Yeah.
great Imagineering budget, whatever.
Uh-huh.
You see how great that is. Just put some of it over here. Just sprinkle it. You don't need to do it for every animatronic. But when you have a great looking dress and, you know, it's a spooky thing, and then it looks like her face is stretched out over too much paper, you know? It's like, derp. It's,
Yeah.
it takes you out of it and kind of makes me laugh.
I mean, they got to prioritize other things right now. So I get why fix something if it's
Yeah.
not broke? And I feel like that's the mentality they have right now because of all the other things that they got going on. But
It's a good point.
no, definitely my number 1, Haunted Mansion. I love everything about it. I
No-
love the cues. I love the stretching
Yeah.
room. I love all the paintings. I love the ideas. I love that it's like a story. I love the history of it.
Yeah, it has great history.
It is so full of history, and I love it. And even like, I've never been to Disneyland, but I'm a giant Disney nerd, so I know that the stretching room in California you go down, whereas in Disney World goes up. I just think that's so cool. And I like the storyline. When you're going through the ride, it's like when you get to the attic when you're with Constance, right? She kills you, and that's why you fall backwards out of the roof into the graveyard because you are now a ghost. I think that's the coolest thing ever. I just love the story. But yeah,
It is
so there
cool.
goes my number 1. Your number 3.
Yeah, it's definitely my number 3. I mean, I'll complain about the face, but no one's not going to ride it because of the face. They're looking at Haunted Mansion like, the bride's got a weird looking face. No thanks. No
Yeah.
one's doing that.
No one is doing that.
Yeah. But, I mean, you already said your 1 because it was my 3. What's your 2?
My 2, it's such a toss-up, but I think it's a toss-up between Pirates of the Caribbean, which I think it's got to be Pirates of the Caribbean. That's my number 2.
So this one would have been your 4 if we were doing a top 4, this one? Or would you have
Probably.
bumped this one to 3?
No, it would have been with the Tiki Room.
4 is the Tiki Room?
Yeah.
What would she like more, the People Mover or the Tiki Room?
People Mover, obviously.
Oh, there you go.
But no, my number 2 is the Pirates of the Caribbean. I love the smell of the water. Hello. I want to bottle that up and just make it like an air freshener for my room. Like if I could smell that all the time, I feel like it would solve most of my problems. But I think it's so immersive. It's so cool. I like that in Disneyland, even though we're talking about Disney World, in Disneyland it was the last ride that Walt Disney worked on and got to see. I think that's so like cool that even though it wasn't in Disney World, it's the same like ride. I think it's so cool. And I just like the evolution of it too, because I remember riding it as a child when that fog that would come down would be Davy Jones. Like it would have like his like picture like projected on there. I guess that's like when the movie came out or something. But and that in the water there would be sirens, but it was too scary or something like that for kids, so they took it out. Like it's just so cool. But I'm so disappointed, and I might get hate for this, that they got rid of the redhead. The Wheeze Wants the Redhead.
Yeah, I mean...
It just was so, like, core, that ride. That was me growing up listening to that and riding that ride. So that was just, like, a childhood thing. But, like, I get why they got rid of it.
They have
makes
to...
sense.
I mean, they change stuff.
Change stuff with the times.
To be more inclusive, but it can be hard to kind of accept that change, especially when it will stop giving you that nostalgia feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, there's so many things that change, like, they changed Bob the Builder. And I'm like, why would you change Bob the Builder? And it's like, because obviously kids don't like the
OG
stop
Bob the
motion
Builder.
play.
I don't know
or
why.
whatever
That
it
was
is.
cool.
But, like, it kind of ruins the nostalgia, but then you understand at the same time why you do things. You ready for my 2?
Yes.
It is the best ride in all of Disney World. It is Tron Light Cycle Run. Is my top 2 must do. Tron is a new age roller coaster where you get to basically enter one of the greatest movie ideas of all time. I absolutely love Tron. As much as I love the look of Tron Legacy, I love the look of the original Tron. I love the story of the original Tron, even though it's sometimes hard to watch, but I just absolutely love it. And getting into a motorcycle to ride a roller coaster is one of the most creative and amazing ideas ever.
And yes, I love Tron's like whole like ride system. I love the the one thing I don't like about it how short it is. It's a
It is
short
short.
ride.
It is
For such a
short.
long wait.
But that's not Tron's fault. You know, it like say it was a little shorter, it would be way better. Like the line was a little shorter. It would justify that shorter it would justify that long wait time. You know, but it doesn't make it any less the fact that Tron is an amazing ride that is so immersive in its queue and everything like that, and it fits really well with Tomorrowland. It is just fantastic.
It does fit in well with Tomorrowland, and it was a great addition. But I think it's so funny listening to my top three compared to your top three, and mine's like solely like nostalgia based, and yours is like because you're newer, like you've gone so recently as like an adult, and like you get to experience it for like almost the first time that you like remember. It's like
Yeah.
the newer things
It is.
that stick out to you.
Well, you're gonna love my top one. It is the not original, because it changed it,
Oh, okay.
but the always amazing Country Bear
Oh my
musical
gosh.
jamboree.
You love the Country Bears so much.
Babe, let me tell you about the Country Bear musical jamboree. I thought
Please enlighten me.
I thought I had heard heavenly music before. But when I tell you, when three bears come out of the floor and start singing, oh,
Oh, were you talking about the new one? I was
course
ready
the
for
new
you
one.
to start singing out the
a
old
lot
one.
of people were dogging. They were dogging.
I'm dogging it.
I know you do.
I dog
And
it. It's because I
don't get
had
it.
that. I love the old one.
I love the old one.
Like,
I was able to see the
The
old
three
one.
bears who came out of the floor and sang "Every guy that turns me on turns me down" is hilarious. Like the fact that was in Disney
That is hilarious.
is hilarious. And Big Al with blood.
It was great, but when you see the Bears sing "Bare Necessities," it all makes it great. I love that song. It is fantastic.
for you.
It's a must do for me.
Yeah.
Like, and I heard everyone, because I got to see the new one when we went in 2024 for that day. We made it a
Yes.
need because there was no wait, so we could do it.
Yes, that's
But-
true. And I'm not hating on it from like a business standpoint and for the kids. I know kids are probably gonna love that a whole lot more because they can sing along and it's a bunch of bears singing movie songs that they know and love. And I think it brings in a whole new audience, which is very smart for Disney to do that. But like I said, the nostalgia aspect for me, I feel like they're just ripping it all away from me at this point.
It's just amazing. I love the Country Bear Jamboree. It's fantastic.
Yep.
But, you know, just because those are my three must-dos doesn't mean that everything else isn't a must-do.
Yes, everything is unique in its own way, and I don't think I could go to Disney. Like, if I was going on a full-fledged vacation and I didn't just have to dart in and do three things and dip out, like, I would need to do everything.
There are only probably a handful of things in Magic Kingdom, or maybe even Walt Disney World, a handful of things, that I would be like, nah, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
If you're our age and you're like, ooh, I want to go do the Smell-o-phants, you don't need to go do the Smell-o-phants.
What the heck is a Smell-o-phant?
Exactly. It's in Storybook Circus.
Dumbo's flying elephant?
No, Smell-o-phants is a new thing. It's like you go around with your kid, and I'm not crazy. People in the comments, you can confirm that the Smell-o-phants exist, and I'll make you look it up after this.
Okay.
But unless I'm totally wrong, and I heard AJ from Disney Food Block wrong while we were watching her, but shout out. But I think it's real. But we didn't do it because
It's in Storybook Circus, and we don't
And
even
we're-
touch that part of the...
we're over 6.
Listen, it's going to be a whole new experience when kids are
When
involved.
we have a kid.
Yes.
Yeah. So what moving on, what park do you want to do next?
park hopping on over.
Yeah, but I am paying for that extra.
Fair enough.
A park hopper plus option.
Hopping on over to Epcot.
Epcot, okay.
See, Epcot is... I love Epcot. She's
Not a
so
lot of rides
beautiful.
in
She's the
Epcot.
prettiest girl in school. I love her.
Epcot.
The
Epcot
experimental
ball.
prototype community of tomorrow. Wow, crickets.
Why isn't it a full community? Should be.
All
Should
right,
be a
Walter.
full functioning.
Walter, that just wouldn't
idea.
work. That
Community.
just wouldn't work. No.
Mm-hmm. You'll have your accountants there, and then there'll be a nice little government, so they can run it into the ground.
Yeah. Top 3. See, this one's easier because there's not as many.
There's not as many.
rides. Yeah. So let's do this one. Well, what's your? Did you go first last time?
No, you did.
Oh, so what's your number 3?
Not Test Track.
Fair.
Because Test Track can't even be on the list. As of right now, they're done. Test Track's done the way it already is.
I don't think it's done. I think they're
No,
just
but
renovating it.
No, they're renovating it, but it's going to be a completely new ride.
Oh yeah, so you can't judge it yet.
You just can't. You can
Yeah.
judge based off... but I wouldn't feel good about judging, because it probably would have been number 3. But they got rid of it. They had to refurbish it. And I'm not going to put it on there because I haven't seen the new one.
Give me your third one, boy.
You're so mean to me. Boom. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
It's Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
Really?
I really enjoy it. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is a very immersive ride.
Mm-hmm.
I love the queue of it. I love looking out onto France and everything like that. It is, and I love just being a rat. And I'm not usually good on VR rides, but this one I was pretty good on. It's not too crazy. I really, really enjoyed it. But I understand why some people are like, it's kind of a really long wait, and I'm not really sure if I really like the VR stuff, but to me, like, the practical effects that are used, like in the kitchen scene, in the freezer, I think it's really, really cool.
It is really cool. My only qualm with that one is it breaks down a lot.
It can, but I don't put it
But now they
against
got
it.
that new single rider feature,
Yeah,
which I think will help with the lines.
big advocate for the single rider ride.
Yeah, I think most rides should have the single rider.
At least if you're gonna
Need to fill seats like that?
well, no, get this. If you classify your thing as an elite attraction, like, I'm pretty sure they, like, rank their attractions by, like, premiere or something, right? Then you should put in a single rider line.
I'll give you that.
That's what I
fair
think.
enough.
What's your 3? If you haven't.
My number 3 has to be Living with the Land.
Living with the Land.
I love Living with the Land, and it makes me so happy to see that other people are giving it the love it deserves. Like when it had a basically hour-long wait, that was crazy.
Is that how
One,
you probably feel about Wedgeway, too?
Yes. I love that everybody is giving them love, but I hate that everybody is making me wait in lines.
I don't want to buy a Premier Lightning Lane pass for Living with the Land.
You know what? My only qualm with Living with the Land is those seats are the most uncomfortable things in the world. Like, they're so hard, it's not even funny. But everything else, it's just so peaceful. And the house that you see in there with the little rooster, I want to go in there. I know there's nothing in there, but I just want to, like, hop out of the boat and go in the house. Just because intrusive thoughts. All right, you're number 2.
So my number 2 is definitely gonna have to be a little A little journey into imagination. It's
Oh my gosh, I forgot about Figment. I changed my answer.
No,
changed
you've locked it in.
No, I didn't lock anything in.
You've
3
locked it
is
in.
Figment. No.
Boo.
Nope. I
Ooh, you
completely
flip-flopper.
forgot. I'm flip-flopping. My little
You didn't
purple
use your
dragon
imagination
imagine.
enough.
I didn't. Oh my gosh. No, I have to change my
Epic
whole order.
poll. Nope. Figment.
No.
I get Figment.
Nope. Figment's on my list now. It's
No?
number
No,
3.
you can't
it's
just change
matched
your
with
list.
you. Yep.
Ridiculous.
Bounce with the magic. Bounce with the
This is my
bouncing
number
Figment.
2.
Oh, never mind. Mine's number 3. I'll change mine to 3 so you can at least have 2. Go on.
Journey into Imagination.
I'm so
Figment.
mad at myself.
I rode that ride for the first time in 2023. When I tell you, when he said, "Was something is a blast," and it went up
Imagination is a blast.
and yeah, I peed myself. I was so happy.
You
I was smiling ear to ear,
It's
and
the
was like,
cutest
"Oh my
thing
god!"
ever.
And then I love that the moon sings. Whoever plays the moon, I know him, but I can't think of his name. The actor who plays him. I love the cue, how it introduces Flubber in the labs. I love it all. I love that you exit into the
The like play area.
the play area. That's cool. Teach you
Come on,
imagination.
everybody, go play.
And then Figment can come out of that little
Oh yeah, because he's a
hole in the
character.
wall.
You can.
I don't know what it is. It's like the Wreck-It Ralph thing
Yeah.
or something. Because Penelope comes out of there sometimes. You can meet the characters. Not that I'm a big meet the characters guy.
Yeah.
But
No, because also, I want to go to the Touch and Taste Lab. I don't know about you. Figment's like, let's go to my house. I don't want to go to your house, Figment, as much as I love it. I want to go into the Touch and Taste Lab.
it's hard to do that from a ride.
I know,
But-
but it's just like it's like the house in Living with the Land. I just want to go there.
The house at the very beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, Figment is a great character. I didn't really know about him until you told me about him and we went to
I'm
Disney
so
World.
happy that he's getting... Is he getting a movie or a show?
Bob Iger said that he's instructing people to do creative stuff with Figment.
Okay, so that's something. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
But I mean, I loved that ride, riding it. I thought it was great, and the ending. I mean, except for the smell. Hate the smell lab. Hate it.
It says it's a rose. It's not.
It's not a rose.
It's not a rose.
But it is just. At the very end, it really surprised me, and I like rides that surprise me. It's why I like Tron. It's why I like my number 1. I like rides that surprise me, but I'm gonna wait on my number 1. So your number 2 is Figment too?
No, I changed it to 3. I got
Living with the Land
Living
is
with
2?
the Land got bumped down to 4. I put
Okay.
Figment at 3. Living with the Land's not my thing. My number 2 is Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. I love that ride. I will ride the big ball every day.
Spaceship
all
Earth's my
day.
4 if we were doing 4.
Okay.
It would be the
fair.
one that I bumped.
Dang, no. I gotta thank the Phoenicians every time I'm there. It's like, and the smell of Rome burning, again, give me like a room scent, all my problems solved. It's so peaceful. There was a time during my program where it was toward the end of the night, and I sat there, and I wrote it continuously for like 3 to 4 times, and I listened to it in different languages, just because I just wanted to be there.
And now you're an expert
I
in
am.
all those languages.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Maybe Remy would be bumped
Mm-hmm.
if Spaceship Earth, I think, and I include the play area at the end as Spaceship Earth for this.
That
'Cause
used
I
to be
included
so
it for-
cool. It just like went downhill.
Did it go downhill or did the technology get outdated?
The technology got outdated, which is why it went downhill.
If
They just need
you-
to update that.
If you update the technology, at least face the newspaper boy around. Fix him, please. But
No, I
Is-
think it's funnier that he's backwards
it's
for the
funnier.
reason why.
It is funny, but
Like there's just there's just so many tidbits of that ride that I love. Like they used the Hall of Presidents animatronic like molds to make I think 12
That's
of
cool.
the animatronics in there. That's so freaking funny.
yeah. But if they update the technology stuff at the end, once you get off, it could easily be my number 3.
Okay. Well, fair enough. All right. So I'm very curious. What is your number 1?
It's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, so we both have the same number 1.
We do?
Yes.
Okay.
We both have the same number 1.
Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, might be the second best best ride. Sorry, not attraction, in all of Disney World.
I'll give you that.
One to me being Tron because I'm biased.
Yes,
I
you
love
are.
Tron.
Yes, you are.
But I also love Guardians. But
It's just not the same in your heart, and that's fine.
if in Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, if you got a ride vehicle as cool as a motorcycle, it'd be up there. But the fact that you get a motorcycle and it's a launch, that is cool. But Guardians of the Galaxy is a very, very close second to me. But 1 in Epcot, it is the fact that your music changes, the Guardians are there, and the queue is fantastic. Surprises. I love that it was a surprise. It was an immersive feeling queue. I love when queues do that. That's why I love Rise of the Resistance, but we're going to talk about that in another pod. We're going to do Hollywood and Animal in another pod. Or 3 must-dos. But Guardians of the Galaxy is just one of those rides.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love, yes, the queue, the pre-show to the ride is so cool where you're like beamed up onto the ship. I was like, there should be like an epilepsy warning, I feel like. But the ride itself is just so cool and it's so smooth for like a roller coaster type ride. It doesn't feel like you're jerked around. And
No,
I
it
like
doesn't.
the freedom of the car, like it spins.
So I was actually reading about this. It doesn't spin for spinning's sake. It
It goes
turns
with
you.
the track.
So it purposely tilts you slightly so you can see what's happening around you. And that's why, because I'm a motion sick guy, when I heard about spinning, I was like, uh-oh, this might not be good. But it spins you only slightly so you can look at the main thing around you. Not spinning for spinning's sake is why I will never touch the teacups. I won't get on that.
Listen, I got on the teacups one time, and the teacup handle felt wet. I'll never touch that again. That's prime going to Disney in August. So, there's that.
But it's just a great ride. And Epcot, to me, it's a park that I've grown to enjoy a lot more. I don't think it's a park for kids. At least World Showcase is not, I would say, for kids.
I still disagree.
Would you think that you get more fun out of World Showcase as a kid or as an adult?
Definitely as an adult, but there's
That's
something...
my point.
There's something for everybody in Epcot, even in the showcase.
Yes, especially with the Frozen ride, which you hate.
I don't hate it, I just am salty about it.
Because of the
Maelstrom has
nostalgia
my
we were
heart.
talking about earlier.
Maelstrom has my heart. That's a whole different rant.
That's funny. But I mean, I love that ride, and I love those 2 parks. Those are probably my top 2 parks.
I feel like they're a lot of people's top 2 parks.
Yeah, I mean, if Hollywood would get its act together, and we'll see.
It's got a lot coming for it. Rest in peace, Muppets. A lot of rest in peace this video.
We're gonna make a lot of
Yes.
pods about the Muppets.
Yes.
I love the Muppets.
You too love them.
I do, and I'm very excited about the future of the Muppets. But you're gonna have to figure that out. Probably, maybe not the next pod, but maybe in a few episodes from now. We'll talk about that. But those are our 3 must-dos in our probably our top 2 parks at this current moment in time.
Yeah, just
in our top 2 parks, just so you get a little taste of kind of what we like.
Yeah, and just to give you something that's not just talking about ourselves, which can be boring, and especially when you want to talk about Disney, which is what this podcast is going to be henceforth.
Mm-hmm. And you don't know us. So.
Yeah, and you don't.
But now
know us.
you know us a little bit more.
Yeah, and you will learn more about us as we go.
And all our amazing and bad Disney takes. You probably won't agree with some of them, but
You probably didn't agree with our top 3.
No, and if you have a different top 3 for both Magic and Epcot, please leave them down in the comment section because we'd love to know them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but thank you for listening to our very first episode of
The Wildest Pod in the Wilderness.
We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.
Bye.